So, have you ever heard of digital notebooks? They are basically notebooks that people can download and use on their tablets, phone, or computers. And here's the crazy part. People are making thousands of dollars selling these on Etsy, Amazon, and other platforms. Now, I know what you are thinking, but I'm not a designer or I don't know how to use fancy software. Well, let me tell you something. You don't need to be a professional designer and you definitely don't need expensive software. But here's why you need to start right now. We are in July, which means you have the perfect window to create and launch your digital notebooks before the holiday seasons. September through December is absolutely prime time for digital notebook sales. People are back to school, planning for the new year, and shopping for digital gift. If you start creating now and get your listing up by August or September, you'll be perfectly positioned to capitalize on the biggest selling season of the years. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to create beautiful digital notebooks using Canva, which is mostly free to use. We will make two different notebook designs together, and by the end of this video, you will have everything you need to start your own digital notebook business and ready for the holiday rush. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive in. What are digital notebooks? Before we start creating, let me explain what digital notebooks actually are. Think of them like regular notebooks, but instead of being made of paper, they are PDF files that people can download instantly. People use these digital notebooks in many ways. Students use them for taking notes on their tablets. Business owners use them for planning and organizing. Artists use them for sketching and brainstorming. Parents use them for homeschooling their kids. The best part, once you create digital notebook, you can sell it over and over again. It's what we call passive income. You do the work once and it keeps making money for you. Now let's talk about why people love buying these instead of just buying regular notebooks. First, they are instant, no waiting for shipping. Second, they are often cheaper than physical notebooks. Third, people can print as many pages as they want or use them digitally on their device. I've seen simple digital notebooks sell for anywhere from USD 3 to USD 30, depending on how detailed they are, and some creators making over thousands a month just from digital notebooks alone. Getting started with Canva. Alright, let's jump into creating our first digital notebook. I'm using Canva for this tutorial because it's user-friendly and you can create amazing design even if you have never designed anything before. First, let's go to Canva website. We can use the free version for most of what we are doing today, but if you have Canva Pro, you will have access to more backgrounds and graphics design. Now, here's something important. We need to set up our canvas size correctly. Most people expect digital notebooks to be standard letter size, which is 8.5 by 11 inches. This size works well for printing and look good on screens. Let me show you how to set this up. Click on Create a Design and then go to Custom Size. Change the measurement from pixel to inches. Type in 8.5 for width and 11 for height. Click Create New Design. Now, we have our blank canvas. I always like to rename my project right away so I don't lose track of them. Let's call this one my first digital notebook. Now comes to the fun parts. Designing our cover. The cover is super important because it's the first thing people see when they are shopping. We want it to look professional but not overwhelming. If you need any inspiration, simply head over to the design sections and type in notebook cover in the search bar. Canva will instantly show you hundreds of stunning design templates and layout. You can browse through these designs to spark your creativity, see what's trending, and get ideas for colors, fonts, and layout that can adapt for your own unique notebooks. It's like having a massive inspirations library right at your fingertips. Let's start by finding a background. I'm going to click on elements on the left side and search for floral background. Look at all these options. This is why I love Canva. They have thousands of stunning patterns to choose from. You will notice some have that little crown icon, which means you need Canva Pro to use them. But don't worry, there are plenty of beautiful free options available too. If you are using the free versions, here's a pro tips. Simply go to the filter options and check the free box. Once you do that, Canva will filter and display only the free floral backgrounds available to you. This way, you won't waste time clicking on pro templates and can focus on all the gorgeous free design that are perfect for your digital notebooks. For our first notebook, I'm going to choose this pattern. It's pretty but not too busy. When you're choosing background, think about who might use your notebook. If it's for student, maybe choose something fun and colorful. If it's for business use, stick with more professional color. Now, let's add a dedicated space for our title to make it really pop. I have two great options to show you. Option 1, quick rectangle method. I'm going to press R on the keyboard and quickly add a rectangle. This creates a nice clean area for our text. I will make it white and add some rounded corner to give it a friendly modern look. Option 2, custom label method. If you want something more stylish, you can search for book label in the element sections. Canva library has plenty of beautiful custom label available. The best part is that many of them are free. Let's say I choose this elegant label design here for our digital notebook. Now, here's the pro tips to make your label really stand out. You can add a subtle shadow effect. Simply click on your label, go to Edit, then select Effect. From there, choose Shadow and select Drop Shadow. These small details make the whole label pop off the background and give it that professional three-dimensional looks that catch the eye. See how much more polished and professional this look. Now let's make our notebook look more realistic and professional by adding binder rings. Let me show you exactly how to do this. Go to element sections again and search for binder rings. Now, I'll be honest with you, for free account, the binder rings options are pretty limited and most of the really nice binder rings require a pro account. But that's totally okay. We can still create a great looking notebook with the simple binder options available for free. Once you have selected your binder rings, drag it to make it bigger so it's clearly visible. If the binder doesn't stand out well against your cover background, don't forget to change its color. You want it to be noticeable. Position the binding ring on the left side of your notebook cover. This is where binder rings naturally place on the real notebook. And just like that, this simple addition instantly makes our notebook look more realistic and give it professional touch that customers love. Now for the title, this is where your notebook really comes to life. I'm going to click on text, then add a heading and choose the font that perfectly match your style. To get the perfect colors, click on the text color box in the top menu. Here's where Canva get really smart. It automatically picks up the colors from your design. In the photo color section, you can choose text color that will always match perfectly with your background. No more guessing colors. There's actually another fantastic way to style your text. Click on your text and scroll down to find the font combination sections. This feature gives you professionally paired text style and color that are guaranteed to work beautifully with your design. Now, the title itself is crucial. It shall tell people exactly what they are getting. I will type my notes for now, but when you are creating your own, be more specific like college study notebooks, business planning journal, or daily gratitude planners. The more specific you are, the better. Just place it perfectly in your title box or label. Let's add some lines under our title where people can write their name if they print this out. I will press L to add a line, then make it clean and thin by going to the stroke style in the top menu. I will change the stroke weight to 2 for a neat appearance. You can change the line stroke to dotted if you prefer that look. I will duplicate this line to create a second one below. So we already have a professional looking covers that people would actually want to buy and use. Now let's create the inside pages. This is where people will actually write their notes. So we want to make it functional and pretty at the same time. I'm going to add a new page by clicking Add Page at the bottom. For notebook pages, most people expect lines to write on. So that's what we will create. Let me press L again to add a line. I will make it a light gray color so it's visible but not too bold. The line weight should be around 1. We don't want it too thick. Now here's a key, spacing. The spacing between lines matters a lot. Too close together and it's hard to write. Too far apart will look weird. I usually go with about a quarter inch between lines. Instead of creating each line individually, I'm going to use shortcut. I will duplicate the first line, drag it down to where I want the second line, then keep pressing Ctrl plus D to keep duplicating. This creates perfectly spacing lines every time. Now, I want to add little design elements to make our pages more interesting and cohesive with our cover design. I'm going back to that beautiful background patterns we use on the cover to find similar graphics that will tie everything together. Here's fantastic Canva features that many people don't know about. I click on See More like this next to our original pattern. Canva's magic recommendation system will instantly show you dozens of design elements that are almost identical or perfect complementary to what you have already chosen. It's like having a design assistant that knows exactly what will work well together. This little floral graphics absolutely perfect. I will place it in the corner of the page, not too big, not too small, just the right size to add personality without overwhelming the content. See how this create that beautiful visual connections between the cover and the inside page. These kinds of consistent design throughout your notebook is what make it look professionally and increase its perceived value. These small details might seem minor, but they are what separate amateur looking notebooks from ones that customers are excited to purchase and use, creating multiple pages and variations. Now we need to create more pages. Most digital notebooks have between 30 to 100 pages. For our first notebook, let's aim for about 50 pages. That's a good amount of content for the price. Here's the efficient way to do this. I'm going to click on the grid wheel on the bottom right. This shows all our pages as thumbnail. Now I can duplicate this by clicking the three dots and selecting duplicate pages, or just click on Ctrl plus D to get the page duplicate. But wait, having all pages look exactly the same might be boring. Let me show you how to create some variety. For every 5 to 10 pages, I like to change something small, maybe move the graphics to the different corner, add a different small design elements, or create a few pages without lines. Now let's create the pages without lines. These are perfect for drawing, sketching, or even mind mapping. Having variety in your notebook makes it much more valuable and appealing to customers who want flexible in how they use it. Here's pro designer tricks to make these blank pages look more cohesive and professional. I'm going to add that same floral graphic we used earlier, but this time I'll reduce its transparency significantly. This creates a subtle watermark effect that ties the page back to our overall design theme without interfering with whatever someone wants to draw or write. To do this, simply place your graphic on the page, then adjust the transparency slider. I usually go for around 10 to 15% transparency. You want it just visible enough to add that cohesive design elements, but light enough that it would complete with someone artworks or notes. This technique works beautifully because it maintains your design consistency throughout the entire notebook. This variety makes the notebook more valuable because people get different types of pages for different users. Here's a pro tips. Create a few special pages, maybe one page with dots instead of lines, or one with the habit trackers layout, or even a monthly calendar page. These special pages make your notebook stand out from the competitions. But remember, don't go overboard. Too much varieties can look messy. The key is subtle difference that add value without overwhelming the user. Creating a second design. Now let me show you how easy is it to create completely different notebook design. This is important because once you master the process, you can create dozens of different notebooks to sell. I'm going to duplicate our entire design first, then modify it. This saves so much time. For our second design, let's go with a completely new different styles. I'll delete the current background and choose something more colorful and energetic. Maybe these floral patterns is bright and happy. When I change the background, I need to make sure all the other elements still work with it. The white text box might need to become a different colors. I might need to adjust the shadow as well. Let me change the fonts to something that match with this more playful style. And I will update the title to something like Creative Journal to match the new design. For the inside pages, I will keep the same line structures, but I will add different graphics elements that match our new flora theme. So this is how we can create a completely different looking notebook in just a few minutes. This is the power of the templates. Once you have the structure down, you can create variations really quickly, downloading and preparing for sales. Alright, our notebook are ready. Now let's download them so we can sell them. Click on share in the top right corner, then download. We want to choose PDF standard. This create a high quality file that people can easily use on any device or print at home. Canva will create a PDF with all our pages. The file size will be reasonable for downloading, but still high quality for printing. Now, before you start selling, let me give you some important tips. Always test your PDF first, download it, and make sure all the pages look good. Check that the lines are at the right spacing. Make sure your file size isn't too big. Nobody wants to wait forever to download a notebook. For selling, you have several options. Etsy is a great for beginner and has lots of people looking for digital products. Your own website gives you more controls but require more marketing. Amazon KDP lets you sell both digital and print versions. Gumroad is specialized in digital downloads as well. Pricing and marketing tips. Let's talk about pricing. When you are starting out, don't undervalue your works, but also be realistic about the market. Simple line notebooks might sell for USD 3 to 8. More complex planner with special layout can sell for USD 15 to 30. Bundles of multiple notebooks can sell for even more. Research your competitions on Etsy or wherever you plan to sell. Look at similar products and see what they are charging. Price yourself competitively, but don't be the cheapest. That can actually hurt sales because people assume cheap means low quality. For marketing, great photos are crucial. Show your notebook on different devices like tablets, phones, print out. Show someone actually using it. People need to visualize themselves using your product. Write clear details descriptions. Explain exactly what they are getting, how many pages, what they can use it for. Include keywords that people might search for. And here's my best tip. Create variations of successful design. If one notebook sells well, make similar one in different colors or with slightly variations. This multiplies your income without starting from scratch. And there you have it. We have created two beautiful digital notebooks that are ready to sell. You now know your complete process from design to download. Remember, this is a business that grows over time. Your first notebook might make a few dollars, but as you create more design and learn what people want, you can build this into a real income stream. The most important thing is to start. Don't wait for the perfect design or the perfect moment. Create your first notebooks, put it up for sales, and learn from the experience. If you found this helpful, please give these videos a thumbs up and subscribe for more tutorials like this. And let me know in the comment what kind of digital notebooks are you going to create. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Happy creating and happy designing.